Hi everybody, welcome to the darkness, and it is dark tonight. As you can see, I'm not alone. Behind the camera we've got Hollywood Tony McShane.
Hello.
And Kenny's with us as ever.
As usual.
And we're in a place that we should know by heart.
We should.
And know next to nothing about it. Tonight we are going to sample a special place. My name is Alan Robson. If you have not come across me before, tonight we are ghost hunting in a place that I'm calling the Hauntings of the Hill of Jesus. And I had no clue as to why until not so very long ago. We're in a place called Jesmond. Jesmond. All my life I thought I knew about it. It's a posh place.
Yeah.
Most people can't afford to live there.
No.
A lot of people live in Heaton, but call it Jesmond. We all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
And we know if you want a posh drink and a meal, you can go up Osborne Road.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is the word Jesmond comes from a time when this place was essentially French, and it was Mont de la Jésus, the Hill of Jesus. And why? Because way back, this whole place that eventually Lord and Lady Armstrong would give as a gift to the city, Armstrong, if you know the name, Vickers Armstrongs, made his money from armaments, and he owned Cragside. He lived at Cragside, first place in Britain to have full electricity. So an incredible character. We have to do Cragside. So I didn't know that Jesmond came from Mond, Hill, Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus Hill. And it was because there was a sighting of a ghost. It was all about a ghost, an apparition, but not any apparition. This was an apparition of the Virgin Mary. And it happened in a small spring on the other side of this valley. We're going to take you there momentarily. Within 150, 200 yards of where we are, although it's going to take us a little bit more. to get up the other side, called the Holy Well. Amazing story goes with it. I'll tell you more about it. But then you find out about Jesmond. Do you know who lived here? Yes, I lived here a little while. St. George's Terrace, crappy, nasty flat, 1 of 10. It was in that flat in the middle of the night, sharing 1 toilet for 10 rooms. Not great. So I used to store up, if you wanted to go to the loo properly, till really super late at night, because I was working till 2 in the morning. Right. Yeah. So my toilet time was 3 o'clock in the morning. When I got home, had somebody, before you go to bed, ablutions. Yeah. And I was wearing a pair of little skitties, tangas, they were called. Slightly better than underpants. And I walked along, opened the door, pulled my briefs down, sat down on an old woman. Oh. Talk about the horrors of ghost hunting. So that's my memory of Jesmond. Sting lived here. Brian Ferry lived here. Catherine Cookson lived here. Golfer, world famous golfer, Lee Westwood lived here in Jesmond. And less than 5 minutes away from the entrance that you guys have just come in from, within 5 minutes, the Imperial Hotel Jesmond, where in 1963, in June, the Beatles wrote "She Loves You" on the back of a beer mat.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
History in spades, lot to tell you. Let's do it. But watch your step coming down here. For obvious reasons, it's a long way down. And I'm a bit dazzled from just staring at you guys. But just hard to believe quite how much. You know, it's only when you get researching a place that you get an idea of how much is here. And I thought, Jesmond Dean? Had you ever heard of a ghost story from Jesmond Dean?
Never in a million years.
Well, neither had I. No. But apparently they're really super common. And there's stuff in all directions.
It's a big place, so there is bound to be stuff, isn't there? You know?
Well, yeah, but I just didn't realise that it was like the area, it was like 5 square miles. You know, it's a massive place. Now, if you've already joined our supporters group, we've got the story of the mill. We've got the story of the little girl who died, who you can see dancing over the steppy stones. We've got you, I think, 3 stories, possibly more, that you will get on top of this if you join our supporters group. Also, part 2, we're going to a haunted pub in Jesmond called The Carriage, where the owner, Lee, has experienced all kinds of weird things. Do you hear that?
I heard a voice. I heard a noise down that way. It was a whistle, wasn't it? Was it like a whistle?
I thought it was people laughing. There could be people here too. It's a public. Yeah, it's a public thing. Just got to be aware that this time more than ever, we're actually in an area that's open to the public all night. So we're going to get some people stumbling through. Do you need the lights on, Tony, for everybody at home?
Well, so they can see whatever you're seeing. That'd be
all right. Okay.
If you want us to pop in front, then they'll have.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. That makes sense. Me first. Some people can hear. You notice?
Well, they want the best view, don't they?
Of course they do. All right. Fair enough. Hope you know which way to go.
Well, which way are you drawn to?
Well, I think we've got to go back across to where that banqueting hall was, the old banqueting hall where there's a ghost story attached. That was up here, isn't it?
This is the way.
This is the way then. Let's do it. Yeah, there's people about. I don't know where or what.
Well, that's
banqueting hall, St Mary's Chapel.
Yeah. Is
that along here?
I would say that was pointing down, but I wouldn't be so sure.
Yeah, that's the old mill, so it's down. As long as you've got good enough signal, Tony, we shall do it. You've got to go first, sorry. Forgetting my place. Work all these years. Just now, you go first. That's not bothering me. Some amazing stories here, though, I have to say.
Fascinating place that you just don't realise.
And it's on your doorstep. That's the most embarrassing thing.
And it's accessible.
To anybody, absolutely.
This is the way we came down, I think, wasn't it? We're going there straight away because it's just up that hill.
Yeah, I think let's dive straight into it. Let's not waste our time. We got stuff to see, places to go.
And don't forget to share.
Yeah, please. Share, share,
What's
share.
the width to share?
Look at this place.
Night owl badges.
Just
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
need
If
to
you do
see the
share,
plug, yeah.
let us. You
Yeah,
can get yourself a. Everybody has to have one of these, so just make
You
sure.
share this video now.
Share it now, and it can be yours. Absolutely. We got some people coming. Let's step
No,
away.
they're going under the bridge. We're going over.
Oh, we have to. That's fine. Then. That's all right then. Just didn't want to spoil the night. Flashing at them, and of course, there's the ooze burn directly beneath us, and students heading back to their halls of residence, and in every direction there's a trail to follow to see whatever you will see. There's people here though that have died in the worst kind of ways. I mean, even during the war, there was a whole host of stories in this part of the world where people were losing their lives. Do you know there's supposed to be a ghost on this side of the valley of a man called John Dewhurst? He was one of two British people tragically killed by Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. In the whole killing fields story, he was executed, but he loved Jesmond. And he said that the one thing that he wanted more than anything was to come back and walk at the place that he loved the most. Have a look at this. This is just unbelievable. We are a few hundred yards away from a thing called the Holy Well. This is St. Mary's. And I don't know how much you can see inside it, but there's a banqueting hall that I'll show you. We'll cover that because the banqueting hall's on the other side of that wall. It was Lord Armstrong's banqueting hall so that he could bring people here and entertain them while looking over Jesmond, designed by John Dobson, who's got a street here. It had a pipe organ powered by water drawn down the Ousburn from Paddy Freeman's fields up beside the Freeman Hospital. Princess Alexandra planted a turkey oak tree that's here too. Trees are yews, and yew trees are classed as sacred to the pagans. They usually plant them in cemeteries. So what's the story here? You should be able to see. This is where they saw the image of the Virgin Mary. And people travelled from across the world, not just Britain, to come and see if they could see the image of the Virgin Mary too. The apparition, the ghost, if you prefer, of the Virgin Mary was right here. And for those of you that know Newcastle city centre, you will know that there's a place called Pilgrim Street. Well, so many pilgrims came from across the world. That's how Pilgrim Street began, because all of the pilgrims used to pile from where the carriages arrived down at the bottom of around where the station area is, because before there was a railway station there was a carriage station, as it were, a place where carriages would come in and drop the people off. And they wanted to come to Jesmond to see where the Virgin Mary was because they were proud Catholics. So there was obviously something here. And it's said that there's still things here to this day. So we've got the ghost of the poor chap who died in Cambodia, whose spirit sought to come back. We've got the ghost of Caroline Pig, the little girl from the mill, dancing across stepping stones. We've got the ghost of the Virgin Mary, if you're a Catholic and you choose to believe it. But an interesting thing happened, because one of the few things that Kenny and I share is we were at school only a few years apart, and the curriculum was pretty much similar.
Yeah.
History was King Henry VIII and the Six Wives, wasn't it?
That's what you got.
But the interesting thing was, when King Henry VIII decided he wanted to marry Anne Boleyn, and he asked the Pope if he could, and he says, no, you can't, you're already married, tough potatoes. He said, well, stuff it, I'm going to have my own religion. I'm going to call it the Church of England. And they did the thing called the Reformation of the churches, or the dissolution of the monasteries is actually the name that they gave it, which meant a lot of churches were pulled down. And he said, this is King Henry VIII, talking about Jesmond. Who would have thought? Henry VIII said, those people that travel are being conned by the Catholic Church for money. Because obviously, to see the Holy Well, which is just down there, to see St. Mary's Chapel, you had to pay money to the church. And Henry VIII said, we're having no more of this. Pull it down and stop people touring. And he just, pilgrims, no more. No carriage trips, you can't do it. This doesn't exist anymore. And of course, it became the back end of the banqueting hall, which is just on the other side with a cross at the top. But all of that was stopped by King Henry VIII. So, you know, we did the Tudors, but funnily enough, there's another house just a little bit further along where the yeoman of Newcastle, don't know what that was, that could have been a bat, might have been a swallow. The yeoman of Newcastle lived in that house, and they supported the Tudors. And if the Tudors said, close down that chapel, they'd take a bunch of soldiers and they'd close down that chapel. So the power of the throne at that time was right in the heart of Newcastle. And you would think, I mean, to be honest, they've got more power now. Or should I say, they got more power then than they seem to have now, because they don't bother with us up here, as well most of you know. So then the Tudor dynasty ended and the Stuart dynasty followed, if you can remember your history back then. And the yeoman went, no, we are loyal to Tudor. He says, but the Tudor house has ended. If you're part of Tudor, then you have to die. And he went, actually, no, we are part of the Stuarts. So that's kind of human nature right there. But it's said that there's supposed to be a white image that, and I've tried it with a camp with, you know, with the torches off, but there's said to be a white image that floats around. Yeah, happy to use the necromancer
Sorry
here.
if the signal keeps lagging a bit.
Oh, does it?
I've just come out a bit, so hopefully it's a bit better now.
Right, fingers crossed.
It's all hills and bumps, isn't it?
No, it is, absolutely. Let's
is that any better?
Let's see what we get. Come on. Is there anyone here? Speak to us. Are you one of the Catholics that were ended here? I don't think we'll get the Virgin Mary somehow, but you never know.
Virgin in Jesmond?
It's a question. Speak to us. I can't even remember anybody ever doing a ghost hunt here.
Never. ever.
So if that's the case, the devil.
The devil. That's the devil there,
You
didn't
said
it?
the devil. The bad language kicking around here as well. Sorry about that. Come on. We've come here so you can share with us. So share with us. Let's do a sweep, Kenny. Whoa. Oh, hang on.
You get the feeling that there's something there, don't you?
Something in there. And the thing is, we let look. I know you're a long way away. Can you see anything inside, Tony?
You can probably see it better on the big screen.
Yeah. Keep your eyes open. There's stuff in there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look.
Yeah.
Hang on. Go back to where you were in the middle.
There.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Down a bit. Whoa, stop. Look.
I can see movement.
You see that?
What actually is that? Is there something in there?
No, move back where you were. No, back, left, right again. Stop. There. See the black shape moving?
Yeah. Is there someone? Is there actually someone in there?
There's something.
There was another person in there because that seemed quite defined there.
It looked, yeah, but then it moved to one side.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a person anymore. Get a few voices too. Could just be people going by because there's a path not far from us. Yeah, I thought I saw something here. Oh, I wish I could get closer. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's just the darkness and the distance. Tony, I would advise you to try and get a bit closer if you
I'm
can.
going to stay on this side though. Just
Okay. Look at the right at the back of the hole.
If I stay on the left of you, because that's the I'm a bit more
Okay.
open.
Up a bit. The right it up. Kenny, down a bit. Stop there. Can you see that?
It's bright to right with the torch.
Ah, because it's only if you light the back up that you can see it. Hang on, you keep watching it with a slightly lesser torch. There. It's moving.
Something moving there.
Can it be an animal? Can it?
No. You don't know. You don't know what's living in there.
If you're in there, speak to us. Speak to us. Do you live here? Yeah, that's it there. There you go.
Got it there. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, it says a thief. Why is it stealing your home? This is brilliant. It is cool.
I didn't know it was there.
I know, that's the thing. And there, right beside it, on the other side, is of course the...
I'm sure I just seen a mist on the screen.
Did you?
I'm sure I did. People say white mist.
Wow.
I'm sure I saw something.
Well, you're about 2 yards away from me. It's just... I'm seeing stuff moving around in there. Start low, Kenny. If you start low. I can hear the telltale sound of student. If you're hearing voices,
ban them.
ban them. Oh, the necromancer, it was weird. It just said ban them. I think the thing that we should do is take a quick look up, maybe. Leave the students to do their thing.
I think they're under the bridge. so it just sounds loud.
But we've got to go up here, haven't we?
Yes. The signal will hopefully be better.
Oh, after you, Tony, if you want to
Maybe they can
lead the
something
way.
on screen.
Yeah, please keep your eyes open because we've got the stuff here to see. I'm sure I saw movement in that.
I've definitely seen movement in there. But it looked like there was actually a person in there, but there wasn't. Though.
At the very beginning, somehow you got cobwebs in front of you.
Yeah. Well, you come on.
Otherwise, sometimes spiders just leave them hanging from a tree waiting to... I'll tell you something happened the other day that was really spooky. I walked out of the house and I felt something on my head.
Right.
And I thought, in the way it combed my hair right back, it put it in like a bun, means my brow is very sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Picking up my shadow. Sorry. Off the torch.
Right.
And so you put your hand on your head, as if to say, well, what's that? And when I looked at my hand, it was a huge spider.
Oh,
and you do that kind of girly thing. Oh, look at this. Did we come down? I think we must have.
Oh. I don't remember coming down steps. That looks very steep. I would have remembered that.
You think?
Do you think?
It's there.
I thought we did come down because we saw that.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we did. It just looks...
Everything changes
very
as soon as
steep.
the light goes down.
Yeah.
Hang on, get my shadow now. Tony, do you want to?
I'll just stay level with you, otherwise
First-
it gets my shadow.
Right.
All right. Yeah. I was only joking about you good first. You know.
Isn't it strange that all of a sudden you get this feeling of trepidation again?
Yep. You can feel the stuff in this place.
Yeah, you can.
So many stories here as well, you know. There's one story about how they bombed Sandyford Road, which is right next to here, as you know. And there was one guy who, this kind of flies in the face of what we've been talking about with St. Mary's there, Christian thing. And I found a story about the Holy Ghost, and you think, well, hang on. Jesmond's got the ghost of the Virgin Mary, and now it's got a Holy Ghost
as
too.
well.
It just sounds too unbelievable.
Yeah.
However, a German bomber and half a dozen of his friends started bombing Sandyford Road. 100 homes were badly damaged. 30 houses were wiped out altogether. And 6 people were badly injured because the bombs were bad enough, but you got to remember, a lot of people were in their shelters, you know, because they'd go to bomb shelters. In fact, a place that we've been together doing ghost hunts, the Victoria Tunnels, 9,000 people hid in the Victoria Tunnels during World War II. They just opened the doors. Everybody piled into those tunnels. This is the banqueting hall. Now, St. Mary's Chapel is just on the back of this. I think you know how some of those nettles poke through you? Yeah, that was just happened. There you go, the banqueting hall. This is the Gothic, as you can tell from its style. What a beautiful house this would make if somebody had probably the millions of pounds it would cost to purchase it. 1870, and that is William Armstrong's crest. I don't know whether you can you see it, Tony? Or better
not
without
with
the
the torch,
torches.
probably better with this, I think. Yeah,
If I give you a little bit, is that better?
that's good.
You're making it out, and
Yeah.
over there, when it was built, 1870. Inside's not coped very well. Look at the roof. Inside the building, you can see. Now, the reason that we're here is for a lovely reason, to be honest. This is the banqueting hall. It was built, and I don't know whether you can see, if you just scan around here. Kenny, scan it with your torch, just this whole area, because This is where the coaches would come in. They'd arrive from Newcastle over here, and they'd follow down here, and they'd stop at the door where the butlers would come out and the chambermaids, and they'd open the carriage doors and they'd help down the ritzy ladies of their day, as if they were going to As You Like It or one of the posher nightclubs in town, and they'd go in there through this and it's, you can see the Gothic arches beautifully delivered. Tiny, oh, there you go. Thank you. Tiny little, oh, blimey, I've just the cobwebs in the whole thing. I've just put my hand through one. That's not nice. Small Gothic windows here. And they would come and they'd have a fantastic meal. And the windows at the side overlooked the Ousburn. And there's a woman who worked here her whole life. She was an understairs maid when she started working for rich folks. And she used to work for a rich family in Jesmond, just over yonder. When she got a little bit older, she became a cook and she worked here. And she's supposed to, every now and then, move the curtains back so you can see her. Her name was Bess. She was Lord and Lady Armstrong's cook for something like 25 years in service. She ran the kitchen. She cooked for all of his guests. And she had a back room in the banqueting house, so she was close to where she worked. And it said that she comes to the window, she shows her face, she moves the curtains. And the reason that we're here is because she lived in the eaves of the house in a room, it was said, that had no windows to the right-hand side. So I presume, kind of...
Up here. I must admit, I'm drawn to this room here. Drawn to that one.
Because you can actually get to see in a little bit, can't
Yeah,
you?
you can.
Bit of
Is
damp.
that window smashed there? No,
The middle one's smashed. The other, that one's cracked, and they've put paper up to kind of hold it.
Yeah.
And that one's still with us. It'll just be some loser who just thinks it's cool to destroy. Because you can actually see the eave. Can you see the ceiling's collapsed down there, and there's the eaves. But if this is where old Bessie, the cook, still lives, I'd love her to show herself, or to make a noise, or join us in any shape or form. In fact, I'm going to try the, what was that?
I just heard a noise in there.
Give over.
Is there anyone in here? No.
Let me get my microphone up.
I heard a noise inside there.
Whatever's in there will be aware that we're here.
Yeah. No, but there was a noise.
Let's summon them properly. We're here for you, Bess. Come on, Bess.
Definitely a noise in there.
What was it like?
Did somebody drop something?
Is there somebody dropped something?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. From down here, you can see right up to the eaves. Right. Let's try this. See if our ghost radar can help us out. Come on. It's looking. Well, you can see right in from down here, can't you? Oh. Presence detected. I'll point in the direction where it's coming from. That should be the next. It's inside through those windows.
Yeah. No, noise inside.
Says it's a loving spirit. What I'm getting here is in Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
In Elizabeth. Bess isn't Elizabeth.
Short for Elizabeth, is it?
Beth.
Oh, right.
Is Bessie? I don't know. I don't know. Let's tap it again, see if there's anything else. It just says in Elizabeth. Come on.
Looks like someone in the middle window here
What?
on camera.
What?
If you look in the camera, looks like there's a figure.
We got a figure.
Where?
Look, don't look at Tony's. Look at the camera.
Yeah, look at the screen in the middle window.
Well, hang on. Let me put this on. See if we can confirm it. It points to where it is. It's locating them.
I mean, I'm on a small screen, but
Maybe it's on a
looks like
big screen.
something.
It'll not be. Looks like it. Leave it off for the moment, Kenny. Just to check this. I got in a presence detective. Where is it? Where is it?
Noise again?
I heard that. That
Yeah,
was
you heard
from
that
inside.
noise? That was like a bump, wasn't it?
It was a big, like moving furniture.
Yeah.
Receiving message, it says.
Just moved.
It's moved.
Oh, you'll not believe this. See where it's pointing? Hurt. An image that's hurt. Receiving a message. Oh, lots of words. I trust instinct. Wrong. I trust instincts.
Wrong.
Wrong. What the hell does that mean?
They trusted someone wrongly. And they went
Yeah.
This is moving. This figure.
I
God.
see it on there.
Stay on it. Stay on it.
You can see that on there, can't you? I can see through your camera there.
Some stuff happening.
That was definitely two noises in there as well, mind.
It was like somebody moving furniture.
Yeah.
Is it still got it, Tony?
Yeah. It's moving. Look.
It's Bessie. Hi, Bess. Do something for us. Wave at us. What the hell? That's clear, though. It's clear on your camera.
It's weird.
How come we can't see it? Never thought in a million years we'd get something like that as clearly.
That is weird.
What are you getting, Kenny?
I'm hearing a horse, King.
In here.
Yeah.
Clear the cobwebs away because there's stuff on it. I'm going to put my microphone right up.
As if somebody just went. Do you know when someone sighs?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Where
that?
from? Where from?
From here.
I'm going to put the mic right up against the window. It's physically touching it. If there's anything in there, make a noise. Oh, good gracious. I dare you. Put if a face appeared
Oh, don't.
on the opposite side of that
Don't.
glass.
Don't.
Let's give it a try. Put the camera there. Come on. Show yourself. Show yourself. Make a noise. Make a noise. Did you hear that?
What was that, like a
Scraping noise.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah, scraping noise. Come on. Don't know whether that's me leaning against it or not.
She's looking at you because she's not moving that figure.
The top.
Yeah, it's
Bess.
still there.
Thank you, Bess. I'm just frightened to put you know, it's like that, seeing things out the corner of your eye. I don't want to.
Well, people are seeing it, and you know, I've moved the camera down to see you guys, and it's just still there, or it's still there.
There's movement in here, like. There's noise and movement in here.
Noise and movement, Kenny.
Just hear it. Want to open this?
Oh, you're going through the letterbox. What can you see through there?
Can't really see much, but when I opened that,
What the hell? It's pitch black through there.
there was a noise.
How can anything not light up when you've got a torch on it like this? Isn't that weird?
There was noise in there, though. Definitely heard something in there.
If there's anything in there, grab his hand.
Don't say that.
Oh, is there anything there just blocking it? Is this like cloth or something? Well, why is it so black?
No idea. I'm not lighting up. There? Did you hear that? Like
There's somebody in there. There's footsteps in here.
Ah! That got pushed there.
It's on a spring main, Ken.
No, it doesn't matter.
You all right?
Yeah?
It's cut your knuckle.
That got pushed there.
He's cut his knuckle. What was that?
It's in here. Honestly, I heard noises in there.
Watch your fingers. Don't. You bled enough, man. I just heard a noise over here.
Ask Betty to open the door.
Oh,
Yeah. Bessie,
cut it there.
he's got a cut on his hand. Slammed shut on him. Yes. Oh, it's people. Just cut his hand. Yes.
See, I bleed for us, look.
Look, you shine the torch up and she goes.
She just wants
Then
to.
it comes back.
She wants to be left alone.
No one lives there, do they?
No, but I heard footsteps in there,
I heard noises in there, yeah. And like a hiss.
and it was funny because when you opened the letterbox, you put a torch in. It should light up because it's pitch black. I don't understand why. How long do we stare at her in the window?
I know.
Come on.
But every time I go back to the window, it's like.
Cut me hand. Blood.
I think she might have gone now.
Bizarre. Well, come on, we've got to head back. Let's get back into the darkness, like we do, Tony. Over to you. Thank you, Bessie. Bessie, Lord Armstrong's cook, celebrity guest. Always good.
Getting me otherwise.
Lead the way, then. Yeah. There's also in Jesmond Dean a big statue of a lion. We haven't come across it, but we may still yet. And if you see the statue of the lion, it's a place of good luck. But when you see the big concrete lion, you've got to roar like a lion. And if you don't roar like a lion, you'll get bad luck. So, I mean, this is what the Victorians believed. People haven't been doing it for 100 and odd years, but they should start to make that again. Also, just up the road from here, a parachute mine fell here in Jesmond Vale. 47 people were killed, 23 were maimed, 47 injured. 6 16 houses destroyed, 300 damaged, and 4 months later, Winston Churchill came here to see the damage and walked through Jesmond. And the weirdest thing was the following year, the leader of the Free French, Charles de Gaulle, he ghosted and never quite got to the story because oh, look at this house. German aircraft path, hid in the Dean, 6 were injured, but this bloke, Gordon Rowe, his name was, from Jesmond, he died of his injuries, and the people that have seen his ghost here
We are back.
Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Just in the middle of telling you about this guy, Gordon Rowe, who's known as the Holy Ghost because he was machine gunned by a German plane, and his ghost is said to walk along these paths here in Jesmond, especially on this side. And he's called the Holy Ghost because you can see the bullet holes right through him, and apparently he had half a dozen of them at the time.
Does he whistle when the wind blows?
Oh dear. Thanks, Kenny. Does he whistle when the wind blows? Pet's Corner. If you've ever been down here, we might not get a chance to get to Pet's Corner because time is cracking on. But if you get to it, there's a place there called the Red Walk. And that's because there's apparently the ghost of a murdered serving girl who wears a red jacket, commonly seen there. And people say she's friendly enough, but she keeps unbelievers away from the place by frightening them. There's Coleman's Field that leads to Armstrong Park with a thing called the Cattle Run. A lot of people say it was to stop cattle getting into the park. The truth of it was built for rich people to have a voice.
Yeah,
Scream off to your left-hand side, Tony. There's voices from down there.
There's no one there.
That's the Usburn, of course. We're getting voices again. But they built this thing that looks like an underpath, but it was actually for posh people to be able to walk to posh apartments without having to bump into common people like us. And that's what it was for. Oh, listen to that. Did you hear that? Did you hear that howl?
Yeah.
Up that path there?
Is this
Like
where we came down?
Ooh, is that where we came
Yeah,
down?
I think it was.
Just heard a howl. There's an old well of King John a little bit further along, but it wasn't the real King John. It was a tramp called John who called himself King John. He engraved it on the side, called it his well, and there's a bit of rubble next to it where he lived, and he called that.
That is an airplane, isn't it?
His palace. It is. How are we doing for signal? Are we still on?
We're still on.
Good. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. Do you think we'll make it along here? Or?
I think we will for a bit, yeah.
Let's try. We got.
If the signal goes, let me know, please.
Please, and then we'll. Because there's stories in all directions, and I want to tell you the story from the places where they occurred. There's a grand house just along here called the House of Adam. And Adam was a knight, not a knight of the round table, but a knight. And he was a very close friend of King Henry III. Now, I named King Henry III last week, and it wasn't him. It was Richard the... Oh, did you hear that? Or it could be... It's punters.
Yeah, it's people. There's a path down there.
They're in harmony. Let's just enjoy them. Just stop for a second. Just wait till our friends move on. Let me quickly tell you about this. This Adam of Jesmond, his name was. He was a close friend of King Henry III. It definitely was Henry III. And it was around the time of the Crusades. Now, he went off to the last crusade, which is very famous, made more famous by Indiana Jones. And the very last crusade, the one thing about Adam of Jesmond and why people thought he was so brave, wherever the English flag was flying, you know, the red Crusaders flag, that's where Adam of Jesmond would be, because he'd be cheering on his troops from beside the flag. And it also, in the last crusade, got him hacked to pieces. In fact, there were so few pieces, they couldn't send him home in any shape or form. He was literally in bits. And you've got to remember, his building is just along here, and it's said that his spirit still lives in it, and it's just up this path here. The one thing you must remember about the Crusades, because if you listen to the church, it was their war against the heathen. Getting noises up here.
I heard that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The church said it was a battle against the heathen, when in reality, the Christian army went and massacred people because they didn't believe in Christianity. They had their own faith, Islam, and they wiped out towns, villages, cities. And the fact that they fought back, well, you would, wouldn't you? You know, I've got a very different view of the Crusades. They were horrific. They were, yes, it was us, but we didn't have much to be proud of back then. And it's along this path where Adam is supposed to still be. Sad spirit. There's another ghost from Adam's patch. His manservant didn't. Usually the very wealthy had their servants go with them. But this manservant was ill when the ship was due to sail to take them to the Holy Land. And he wasn't able to make it. So his spirit's said to be still living at the house of Adam. And a very sad spirit it is too. It's funny because if you live in Heaton, you will know the name of... Oh, hang on. Whoa. Did you see that, Kenny?
Movement up the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like somebody climbing down a wall.
I thought that's what it was.
What was that? It's like climbing down a wall. If anybody at home gets anything here, don't forget to tell us. And remember, we're going inside in the next 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to have to... You'll be able to drive with us live, bundled in Kenny's car, because we've got various vehicles all over the northeast tonight. But did you see that? It was like something climbing down.
We're climbing down, or was actually a person climbing down?
And also, don't forget to share these. And if you do, you can get one of our badges, one of the glorious Night Owl.
You see all kinds of stuff, mate.
We are very, very proud. It's just in all directions. Look at that. Just in every direction there's a...
Moving, isn't it? Everywhere.
There's movement everywhere. That thing climbing down though, I was sure that was going on. But this whole... You want to
I don't know which way we're going now. I've lost me.
Your bearings. I just saw somebody climbing down there, and that was.
Is it a bat?
Is that a bat? I wasn't sure if it was or not.
Looks like it's upside down.
It's a bit of tree.
Oh, it's a pair of shoes.
It's a pair of Oh my God.
But somebody climbing down. There's his shoes.
I thought it was a bat.
Sheepers. Well, anyway, just along here, we come to a place called Newton Road. And there was a huge mining disaster. Heaton Mains Colliery. It was on the 30th of April in 1850. And their ghosts are said to walk along Jesmond Vale. Half a mile of roof in a mine collapsed. 48 men were killed, 34 boys, and the boys were aged from 7 to 15. And if you go to Heaton, or if you live in Heaton, or if you know anybody in Heaton, there's an area called the Spinney. And the Spinney has a tree planted for everyone who died in that mining disaster. And the mound where the trees are planted is where the bodies of the majority of the people who died in the mining disaster are buried. They didn't put them in a graveyard. However, 8 of the young boys, aged, as I say, 7. Imagine working down a pit at age 7.
No, not really.
Horrific. A group of the younger boys had their ashes scattered just at the end of this road that we're on at the present moment. So watch out for the spirits of young boys. I think I'm going to necromance along here as well as we go.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on, you know. Just movement everywhere. And I know, yeah, there's students and stuff, but come on. What's with all this movement?
Not be up these hills, will they?
Well, what? I suppose if you don't have to worry about form, if you're a spirit, you can go where the hell you like. Come on. Is anybody here? Keep them steady, Kenny, just straight up ahead. Oh, that's better. Oh, what's that at the end?
Is that a tree?
No, you see the white thing. You see the white thing? What is that?
Where am I looking?
Right at the very end. Past the tree. Just past it. Yeah. What's that white thing? Looks like it's floating. The hell's that?
It's not moving, man, so...
No. I think it's a thing rather than a thing. If you know what I mean? Oh, you. I'm getting children's noises now that I didn't have before. Did you die down there? Can't imagine being in the blackness and then all of a sudden half a mile falls.
That said sick.
See, they're children now.
Yeah.
There's no question they're children.
Got the night vision, Kenny.
Yeah.
Might be good to have a bit of that.
Let's try some night vision.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Give me your camera. Can you manage in the darkness?
Yep.
Oh, I'll double bubble. Treble bubble because I'm necromancing at the same time. If you're any of those children, talk to us, please. And there they are. We're here for you.
There's a mist again here, look.
Yeah. Might have been that Mr. Tony saw earlier.
So we've got the night vision going. Mike's that one anyway. Doesn't bother with the big one.
You want to go out ahead, and I'll circle around.
Really, God.
You're not up close enough to see anything other. Stick to the sides, Kenny. Does that help you? Did you die in the colliery? Were you in the pit disaster? You children, this is where you live. Why do you choose here? Why do you live here? You at home here? Do you like the animals here? Pet's Corner's just along here. I just got something behind me there. Voices. The children are playing. Thing is, when you hear voices, you don't know whether they're living or not living. You know what voices?
I'll probably do signal in there.
How far is it, Kenny? It's about 10 yards.
Okay, just.
Then you're out again, Tony. We're out here.
If I lose signal.
Quickly.
Yeah, just the walls are still going to block the signal.
We'll get through her. There's no walls here.
Yeah, it is. On the wrong other side of the.
Oh, shall we head that way then? Oh.
Well, that's where all the voices are going because there's activity places there. So that's where all the voices that you hear, that's who are there.
Well, I think the thing to do then, because it's about time that we take our leave. Just as we're building up. So we're going to continue building up. We've got another 10, 15 minutes to get back to our vehicles. And we've got the juiciest bit to come. The person who was put into 4 pieces and one part of his body was never found. We're going to the building that he haunts. And we're doing that next. If anybody would like to join us, Tony, how do they do it?
Yeah, there's some links going in the chat now. So if you're on Facebook, just click that. It'll take you to the supporters page. And then part 2 will start in like 5 minutes time. On YouTube, hit join, and all the extra bits that were filmed earlier, and the next part will be there tonight.
Now, we've already got the ghost that most people see here in Jesmond skipping across those stepping stones, the story of little baby Caroline Pig. We've also got the story of the mill, although that goes back to the 1200s. We've also got another story of one of the bridges there, which is amazing. A lot of blood and guts for you. All extras for you supporters. So do come and join us. And of course, you'll be able to catch every second of us in a haunted pub on the other side of Jesmond, next to some railway lines, because it used to be an old railway station. We'd love you to join us for that. We are at the end of part 1 of the hauntings of the Hill of Jesus. And we've got a lot more to come. Come across and join us. We'd love you to do that. Thanks anyway. Take it easy.